This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Good afternoon, everyone, and we are coming to you live from Buffalo Wild Wings here in Del City, and you should make Buffalo Wild Wings your regular visits during the football season. Tuesdays, they have buy one, get one half off for traditional Buffalo wings, and then Thursdays, buy one, get one half off for boneless wings. And this is also the site where right now we will be hosting the media day for the different Oklahoma City-based teams with the Oklahoma Sports Network. And we will be asking the coaches and players questions. You'll hear some of the questions, maybe some you won't, as we have a representative from the local newspaper as well. And who knows who will be asking questions to the different coaches and players. But it's an exciting day we have for you. We have Midwest City, Del City. We'll hear from representatives from Carl Albert and Newcastle, as well as players from Jones. And a lot to look forward to. We're going to take a break here. Coming up in a moment, you're going to hear from Midwest City first and their brand new coach. That's coming up right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
All right, and we are joined first by Midwest City, 3 players and their new head coach. Well, obviously we got a lot of questions for the brand new coach. This is Jaquez Washington, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Coach, just tell us a few things about yourself as you are in your first year as the head coach here.
This is me entering my 11th year head coaching. Got a little experience on both sides of the ball, but mainly a defensive coach. Spent the last 3 years as defensive coordinator at Owasso and, by way of Jinx for a little certain stint. So, but excited to get to the west side of the state. Be my first time operating over here on this side, but I'm excited. It's been wonderful to work with these kids the last 2 months, and I can't wait to see what we do.
Okay, you took the job in May, kind of late to do that. I think you were even going to come back to Jinx
yes,
for
sir.
a moment there. So what went into your decision to maybe apply for the job, and we'll talk about how that came about?
Funny story is my junior year back in 2007, I was knocked out of the playoffs at Owasso against Midwest City out here at Jim Darnell Stadium. And so, to me, Midwest City was a great program, and it is still a great program. So it was an easy decision once I sat down with Andy Collier, the AD over Middale, that it was a no-brainer.
All right, you spent a lot of time in Tulsa as well. Now you're kind of new to the Oklahoma City area. Is there any adjustments as far as that goes? You're getting used to, the different place to live, basically.
The streets, just figuring out where I'm going, even just operating on how to get to the high school, how to get to Rose Field, so really just geographically just learning all those things.
And even though we all have all the respect in the world for Coach Hall, you're going to do your own thing. You're going to do things your way. What was some of the things you wanted to bring in as the head coach that, go with your way, your philosophy?
Really just focusing on brotherhood, effort, and toughness. So, we describe that as BET in our program right now. And then just basically just enhancing the legacy. It should mean something. It does mean something to wear that Midwest City uniform and that helmet and that jersey. And there's a bunch of proud alumni in this community and throughout the state of Oklahoma and around the world that want to see Midwest City come back, and I think we can do that.
And what have you liked so far when it comes to the practices you've had?
Just the kids, their excitement. They come out this summer. They came out and worked every day. I got to tip my cap to them. 2 months ago they had a different coach. 2 months ago they had a different offensive coordinator. 2 months ago they had a whole different staff in front of them. And so they're adapting every day to new personalities, new people in their lives, and they've adapted and done it really well.
Okay, we're also joined by Jeff Harrison, who's not on the microphone, but he's with the Midwest City Beacon. Jeff, you got any questions for Coach?
Can you just describe
the transition has been unique. We actually just moved in on the 4th, so this last Monday. So this week, everything's kind of picked up as far as teachers coming in, coaches coming in, expecting those things. But at the forefront of my mind is this football program.
All right, Coach, talk about the players you brought with you.
Right here we got Ja'Cory Fletcher, wearing number 8, senior, edge player, tight end. In the middle we got Ryan Holloway, running back, safety. And over there we got Dom Cochran, offensive lineman, interior defensive lineman. Some of our senior leaders and guys you should expect some big things from this year.
Okay, Ja'Cory, I'll start with you then. So new head coach, what have you liked so far that's been, maybe different that suits you?
I mean, he's a great guy, of course. You can tell he loved the game. Yeah, I don't really got much. He's a cool guy, though.
Okay, good. Are practices any different?
Yeah, the intensity is higher. You can tell a lot more people take it more seriously than last year. And, yeah.
Okay, Ryan, I don't know if you can hear me okay. He doesn't have a headset on, so that's why I'm asking. But, Ryan, you didn't play last year. You were just focused on basketball. What brought you back to football?
Just my friends. They wanted me to come play. And I was like, yeah, it's my senior year. I might as well do it. Might as well go all out.
Have you liked it so far? Have you liked being back in football so far?
Yes, sir.
What do you think you're going to bring to the table as a football player?
Being a great teammate, getting touchdowns for my team, and
Do you see yourself playing mostly on offense or defense, or a lot of both?
Offense, for sure.
And remind us again, what's your position going to be? What's your position going to be?
Running back.
Running back? Okay. Are you going to share the backfield with other backs?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Jalen Gardner-White.
Okay. Do you guys think you'll complement each other well?
Yeah.
All right. We hope so. Let's go to Dominic. He's been on the offensive line for a while. Dominic, I think you played a lot of center in the past. Is that true?
Yes, I did.
Is that still your position? Or are you going to move somewhere else?
I'm more of a guard now.
Okay. And what's it been like? I mean, you've had, I guess, a few different O-line coaches the last few years, right? So what's the coaching like this year for you, for the offensive line specifically?
It's a lot better. I just coach a lot more. He helped me a lot more than my other previous coaches.
And what are your goals for this year? Or have you even thought about that yet?
Help my team win the chip.
Okay. Back to Coach here. Were you able to bring assistant coaches with you? Have you gotten used to a lot of new head coaches that make up your staff?
So we got Rod Richardson, who was here back in 2021. He was the head coach at Dewey at the time. Rod got a great personality. He's good for our kids. He's a good offensive mind, and he knows his community well. And so I'm looking forward to what flavor he brings to the offense. Offensive line-wise, we have Chubbs Walker, and so he's doing a good job with the offensive line and kind of establishing relationships. Obviously, all these guys came in either mid-June to July, and so really the main point is establishing relationships with our players and just getting to know them, because we're going to hit the ground running here come Monday, the 11th. And so is able to bring in, a few offensive guys. Some of the middle school coaches moved up and is helping us this year on the varsity staff. But, we have the legendary Coach Wall, who's been there, finishing up his last year with me this year. And I'm glad he stayed because he's a cornerstone to this program.
And what's the quarterback situation look like?
We got a bunch of guys that can go help us win. Is basically who's going to take care of the ball and put the offense in the best position, play in and play out. You got guys like Lincoln King, who's an athlete. You got guys like Valor Vaughn, who can come in and command the room and do his thing. You got guys like Taheem Kemp, who's a great athlete back there and has a skill set that can do some things. And you got some young guys. So, the whole roster, we don't know until Monday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ja'Cory, are you going to play mostly tight end, or you mentioned D end as well?
Probably both, but I can see myself more at edge than tight end. We got more tight ends behind me, and that's ready to fill in my spot if they need them. So,
who else is making plays on the defensive line?
We got really all of them. We got Dom, we got Roderick Dixon, we got Aiden Sutton. Xavier Young, he a new guy out there, but he going to come do the job. And we got a lot of young cats, too, out there that's ready to fill in the shoes. So, yeah.
All right, and Ryan, what do you think about the quarterbacks that Coach mentioned? Is mic on?
Yeah, that's right. They're great quarterbacks, yeah.
All right, we'll put it that way. Dom, you mentioned you're playing defense?
Yeah.
Now, did you play? I don't think you played much defense before. Would that be correct? So this is new for you. What do you think so far?
I'm loving it.
Yeah, you're loving it, but yet obviously you're not allowed to hit the quarterback, right?
Nah.
You're allowed to hit Ryan?
Nah.
Not yet, anyway, or maybe never. But you're still loving it, though, right?
Yeah.
All right, back to Coach. What do you think about 5A, or in particular your schedule and your district? Any thoughts about any of the opponents there?
Yeah, I've sat back for the last 3 or 4 years when 6A split to 6A just 1 and 2, and said 5A is the best, most competitive district, the whole deal to be in, because you got to go through everybody. I think back in 17 we won at Owasso. I think we played like 3 playoff games. That's it. And so you got to go through everybody to get to a championship here. So if you win a championship at 5A, you went through the state. And obviously we have a tough schedule. We got to play week in and week out. But, who wouldn't want it either other way? You got to open up with Piedmont, then play Carl Albert, then go Putnam City, go to Dale City. That's why we do this. So it's about really competing against ourselves. The opponent is the opponent. We just trying to showcase that we the best version of ourselves on that Friday and let the chips fall where they may.
As a first-time head coach, you were a defensive coordinator. Are you still going to run the defense, or how does what delegating on that side look like? Because that's what you know so well.
I have my hand in it.
Very good. To the players, is there any particular opponent you're looking forward to? Any rematches? Because it's the same schedule as last year. It's new to the coach, but it's not new to you guys that were on the team last year. So same opponents, just different sites. And Ja'Cory, is there a particular opponent you're looking forward to?
Really, got to beat the brothers next door, Dale City and Carl Albert. So
that's right. Any district opponents? Thinking about
we got to come from Newcastle Head, Law Mac.
They got to go to those places too.
All the teams that beat us.
Ryan, you're not being on the team last year. You're not as familiar with the schedule. Have you looked at it yet for this year?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you're just gonna be surprised.
Yeah, I just want to be Carl Albert, though. That's all.
That's coming up week 1, but the second game. Dom, what about you?
Anybody I lost to last year, just want to come back and win. I got taken out Dell City game, so that one's going to be important to me.
Okay, you'll have those chances. One of those interesting thing, Coach, you're in a district that's smaller, so 7 teams, so you're going to have a bye week late in the season. Have you even thought about that? It's unusual. It's not something you'll see much in 6A.
Yes, sir. No, it's perfect timing, though. We're about to run through that gauntlet, for those 8 weeks before that, or 9 weeks before that. So we about to, once we start the 29th, each game is a tough game. We talked about it already, and so that bye week is going to come at a perfect time to get us ready for Duncan and hopefully get into the playoffs and then get hot, win the last game.
I think Duncan will be tough this year, too, and it's week 9 in the course of the bye. Jeff, you got anything else?
What I improved on, I gained a lot of confidence in myself, and really on my pass rushing, just really everything. Really, I got faster, stronger, so really expect a lot from me this season. So.
Okay.
Let's talk it again.
Yes, sir. Really nothing. Nothing really. Yeah.
All right, Jeff, you good? Okay, well, we want to thank Coach Washington and his players for coming out. Midwest City's first game on the Oklahoma Sports Network will be August 29th at Piedmont. And again, thank you very much, guys. We look forward to that. A great season of Midwest City Bomber football. And coming up after the break, we're going to talk Dell City football right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thank you, man.
At Arvest Bank, we believe home ownership makes families and communities stronger. Whether it's your first home, a fixer-upper, or your forever home, we're here to help put home ownership within reach. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe.
Celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Okay, and we're back with the Media Day here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City on the Oklahoma Sports Network, talking to coaches and players from different teams in the Oklahoma City area as we are 3 weeks away from the season starting, and we can't wait. Right now we're going to talk Del City football with their head coach, Robert Jones, and some of his players. We'll introduce them to you here in a few. But, Coach Jones, this is your fifth season, correct, as the head coach?
Yes, sir. Sometimes it feels like the first, but, you know, it's a lot of things that really had me excited being the fifth-year head coach, just learning the position, learning what it means to the community, learning what it means to the kids. I'm very excited about it. And then just being here in Buffalo Wild Wings, this is Del City. So,
right.
You know, this is a Del City establishment, and we're glad to be here to represent Del City in the right way.
Well, are you as comfortable as you've been now, or do you feel a certain comfort level at this job?
Well, I think I'm comfortable, but you get more nervous the more you've been and the more experience you have. You get more nervous because you know the expectations, and with your experience, you know what comes with it. So our young men are doing a great job building a great program to where the expectations are very high for us coming into the season. My first year, it was just like, hey, let's try to get in the playoffs. Now we're at a point where we're trying to go win the state championship. We're not shy about that, but we understand what it takes to get there. We understand that it takes character first. So it's one of those deals that you're more experienced and you understand the expectation level. So it brings a more pressure to it as you get older.
Now, last year, you had a great senior class.
Yes, sir.
So many good players across the board. But you've always talked to me whenever I interview you about how you feel really good about the players that you have coming in to step up. So what's it been like? I know, like, for example, the wide receivers, the defensive backs, you had a lot of good ones depart.
Yes, sir.
What's it, and some on the O-line as well, if I'm not mistaken. What's it been like getting new players plugged in that aren't experienced but maybe talented?
You know, one thing I learned from my mentor, Coach Rose, other mentors I have, you know, Steve Hubby, when you're replacing kids, your program should take care of the replacement portion. So we're always going to have to replace good seniors because the kind of program that we're running. But since that program, that ties in there too, that I believe that we got the players to step up and they're ready. We have certain guys in certain position, like the offensive line, we have two seniors that are going to lead us, and they're up here right now. We got Rickland Holmes, who plays running back and linebacker. So we have certain pockets to where we're going to be young because we're replacing people, but we got guys that are experienced that are going to be able to help us out in that area. So just with the program and how we run things and how we try to really focus on character and the family atmosphere, and I really think that we're going to be able to replace those guys because that was an important senior class. That senior class really accomplished a lot. They played for a state championship, made it to the semifinals last year. So those guys are very important that we have to replace. But I think with the tradition and how we work on a daily basis, I think we're going to be able to take care of that. And
with the players, would they, because of this being your fifth year now, are you keeping them on their toes, or are they used to things now? Would you say the players are used to things as far as preparation goes like that, or do you change some things up?
Well, I don't think they ever get used to it because my intensity always going to go up every year. I just feel like, I'm 42 years old, but I feel like I'm getting younger because with the experience, I'm pushing them more. Mm-hmm. And I know as I get older, I know the expectation and I know what they need to do to be successful. So every year I'm pushing them. I don't feel like they ever get comfortable. Like, for example, Summer Pride. Yes, they are used to running our conditioning tests. They're used to doing what we're doing in the weight room. But as my job as a head coach, I feel like I have to continue to push them and make them show up like, hey, man, we don't know what Coach Jones got coming today. So they shouldn't show up with a comfortable mindset. They should be able to show up like, hey, man, we better pull up our pants and strap our belt buckle because Coach Jones is going to bring it. So every day we're bringing it. So I would say that they're comfortable and I'm comfortable, but it's still the expectation that knowing that, hey, it's going to be to new levels this year as far as the conditioning, focusing on character, focusing on discipline. So I feel like myself, I'm more comfortable with it, but I'm more comfortable with pushing them to another level to where we need to be.
Okay, Jeff, you got any questions for Coach Jones?
Yes, sir. Off season to me is always, I love off season because you start over. You know, when you have offseason, you start over. So regardless who the starter is, to me, I'm looking at everybody as a new jersey, and the positions are wide open. So, and I also coach my best players the hardest. So, for example, Rickland Holmes, he probably hates me at times because I'm going to push him harder than I push anybody in the program. That's just how I believe. When you have your best players, you better push your best players the hardest, because what happens in the games, your best players are going to be the guys that make the plays for you and lead the team. So it's at times he probably hates me because I'm pushing him. So as far as replacing guys, it gets difficult at times because in your mind mentally, but with the way we push everybody and the way that we push our best players, it kind of elevates that to where we can get past and get new players. But we do have players that step into the program coming from new schools, and they struggle at first because I don't know what other schools are doing, but I know when they come in, they're not used to that consistent day in and day out, that you're going to be held accountable in the classroom. You're going to be held accountable on how you behave at home, because we have a great communication with the parents. And then you're going to be held accountable to how you compete on the playing field. And then we have great talent to where we play both ways. So you might have started at this school across the street, but when you come over here, you're going to be competing against somebody that is just as good as you, that you're going to have to show up day in and day out and show what you could do, or your spot may be taken. So you may have new players stepping in from new schools, but they know what we have. And then you have players within the program knowing that you got to show up every day and be consistent. If not, you might not be in the position you were last year.
All right, Coach, you mentioned Rickland. Go ahead, and you want to talk more about him and the other two players you have with you?
Yeah, Rickland Holmes, I mean, obviously everybody knows him. Great player. He's been playing for us for 4 years, playing running back, linebacker. He also plays some defensive end. I'm just excited about him. I think he's mature. I think he understands the expectation that's on him. When you're the kind of caliber player as Rickland has been for 4 years, there should be pressure on him. He should feel the pressure of, I need to lead my team to a state championship. If he's not, then what are we doing? So Rickland's been a big staple of who Del City has been the last 4 years, and he's really added to our program. But I think this year he understands that, hey, I got to be the guy. I got to be the leader that shows up day in and day out, that's going to really take Del City to the next level, because we want to continue to strive to be the champion. You know, Carl Albert's there, but you know, we need to go try to get to that spot, and Rickland's in that spot to lead us. And then we got Arnico. Arnico's, he came over to us from Western Heights. Last year was his first year being at Del City, first-year starter. Great kid, great in the classroom. And I didn't mention that about Rickland as well. Rickland's great in the classroom. He takes care of his stuff in the business, and that really helps our program. It helps the younger kids coming from middle school. But Arnico is a guy, his first year, last year, he just, you know, it was a growing experience for him to be in that type of atmosphere. No knock on Western Heights, but it's a different kind of, when you come to Western Heights to Del City, the games are different. The consistency on day in and day out practices and games is different for him. So I'm excited for him, the offensive line-wise, and the experience he brings. But I'm also excited for him this year and what he's going to bring on the defensive line. He didn't play a lot of defensive line last year. Like I said before, we believe in playing both ways. So he's going to play a big role for us on the defensive line, and I'm really excited about him. Then we have Nick Holmes. Nick Holmes came with him from Western Heights as well. And that was his first year starting as well in this type of program, and the consistency on the field and what it takes to be successful every day. Nick is also going to play a lot of more receiver. So I think everybody got to see what he brought to the table as a defensive back. He started for us as a cornerback all last year, and he was an all-district performer, all-state type caliber player. But I think this year, I think the whole state and our district and our opponents are going to see a different style of player at receiver as well. So all three of these young men are great seniors. I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring to the table. I've been watching the growth from them from off-season to the summer pride until fall camp, because this is fall camp to me. Just them showing up today. You know, Arnico had to go to work, and he took off. So that's a big thing. These guys taking the time to come out here and understanding what it brings to the program, to be able to be out here in the media and show everybody what they're about. I think these three young men in the senior class are going to do a great job this year.
So we got two Holmes here. Is that right?
Yeah, this is Rickland Holmes, Nick Holmes. They're not related, though.
Not related, okay.
Not related. Yes, sir, not related.
All right, Rickland. Okay, so Coach mentioned you playing running back and linebacker, but then you also, was it kickoffs or punts?
Yes, sir. I did kickoff and I did punt last year. Well, all 4 years now.
All 4 years. You're still doing that?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to kick any extra points, or?
I'll do whatever Coach Jones needs me to.
Okay, so, I mean, you've been a high-profile player since you were a sophomore. What but you played so much, you have an idea of what type of player you are. What do you want to get better at, or what did you want to get better at heading into this year?
What I wanted to get better at this year was reading my keys. I read them good, but it doesn't hurt to perfect your craft every year. And work on my leadership. I always thought of myself as a leader, but this year, being my senior year, I had to step up in that role a little bit more and lead the team. I had to be the head leader of the team, so I've been working on that.
Okay, and Coach, I wanted to make sure Caleb Blackwolf is still there.
Yeah, Caleb's right over there.
Oh,
He ain't
okay.
going nowhere. He sits right over there. Yeah.
Okay, so you and Caleb Rickland shared a backfield along with Miles, but now it's just you two, or maybe there's another guy, Coach, we'll talk about here in a bit. But
Yes, sir.
I'm curious because he's a physical specimen too, just like you. Do you guys compete against each other a lot in practice?
Yes, sir. Iron sharpens iron. Everybody in the weight room, everybody on the team competes against each other every day.
Right.
It's a good competitive environment.
And what's your preferred? Do you have a preferred position, like the one you like the most out of the offense or defense? Oh, it's a tough one. I stumped you, huh?
That's
Be
a
honest,
tough
man.
one
Be
right there.
honest. Be honest.
My favorite position as of right now is running back.
Okay. But, and I was going to ask you about this. You've been getting D1 offers. And what do you expect to play at the next level?
As looking at it right now, I expect to play linebacker on the next level. But once I showcase my talent this year, I should be going to college for running back.
I like it.
Okay. What are your offers looking like?
As in who they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's committed.
I'm committed right now.
He's committed, so the offers, he's committed to New Mexico, so the offers really don't. Those offers are gone, so he's committed.
You're going to be a Lobo.
We'll see, yeah, he's going to be a Lobo, and we'll see how this year goes and see if future colleges come about.
Well, that's awesome, though. I mean, what led you to New Mexico?
Just when they brought me up on the visit, how the environment felt, how I saw how everybody treated each other. Everybody seemed like they were going for the same goal. Sorry. Coach Eck, he came from Idaho. Where did they go? They made it to the playoffs last year, I'm sure. No, not the playoffs.
No, they made the playoffs.
They made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Every school that Coach Eck has went to so far, he's turned the school around. So that being his first year, we got to see what they got to do, what they're going to do. And the position coaches, they felt they were personable. I felt like, oh, sorry. I lost my train of thought.
You're good.
They were personal. The coaches were personal. Just relax, brother.
I got a little anxious.
But you like the environment?
Yeah, I do.
I know it's a little different type of state as far as the scenery goes, but
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'll definitely be following your career. Arnico, you do have, if I remember correctly from last year, you do have a relative on the team, right? Do you have a twin? Is that right? Okay, so obvious question here. Do you and I may have asked this last year when I got to interview you, but do you and your brother ever go in the backyard and do the Oklahoma drill against each other?
Not the Oklahoma drill, but yeah, we go in the backyard and we compete all the time.
And I think I know the answer, but who usually wins?
You're looking at him.
Okay. All right. But you're a working man too, just talk about, again, how you want to get better as a player this season.
Sir? Can you repeat that, please?
Sorry, how do you want to get better on the field?
This year I'm really just looking to just be better on defense because, I have to play a much bigger role because last year, we had so many people on the defensive line that I didn't really get to, learn much. But this year, I'm just hoping to make a bigger impact on the team and get us to our goal.
Okay, and what do you feel about playing defense? Is it a lot different?
It's a lot different, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot better than offense, only because, I can use as much, I'm not going to say more power than I do on offense, but I feel like I'm a little bit more free on the defensive line.
Sure.
Where I can make plays and, do stuff like that.
D lineman can move pre-snap, O-line cannot. But
yes, sir.
as an O-lineman, are you one of the more experienced O-linemen coming back?
Hold on, can you repeat the question one more time? My bad.
I'm sorry. Are you one of the more experienced O linemen?
Oh, yes, sir. I started last year, yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you very? What was your position?
Right guard, or no, center. Center.
Are you going to stay center and move around?
Right now it's looking like right guard, but if coach needs me to, I'll play anywhere.
Okay. How do you feel about this year's O line so far?
I like it a lot because just like with the new offensive line coach that we got, everything's like a lot more simple, and like the younger guys are taking it in way more. So like when we go out there and run plays, it looks a lot more smoother, faster, and it just runs better, in my opinion.
Okay, so Nick, remind us, Nick, and hopefully you can hear me. What positions do you play?
I play corner and receiver.
Okay, so there was a lot of good corners last year and a lot of good receivers, and a lot of them are moved on to graduation. So how do you feel about being one of the experienced players now in those units? Like, how do you feel about being one of the experienced players now with all the departures we've had at those spots?
I feel great. Last year I learned a lot from Demarion and Coach Jones and all the other receivers. They taught me, and I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I started at corner last year too, on the other side of Demarion.
Okay, and would you say you're the fastest player on the team, or is there someone faster than you?
In my head, I'm the fastest, but
hey, you got to believe it yourself.
Hey, you see Rickland, KB, you're not faster than Joe. Sorry.
Well, we don't think about linebackers. We're just talking the backfield and the receivers. All right. Do you see yourself playing more of one position than the other? Do you see yourself playing more cornerback or receiver?
No, I think I should play the same amount of snaps unless I'm rotating at receiver.
Okay, you're gonna be like Travis Hunter.
Hopefully.
All right, Jeff, you got any questions for any of these players?
Tell me, what has it been like being in your second year here at Del City? Are you feeling more comfortable and kind of used to things?
Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable and now this year as being a senior, a leader, and more comfortable with the coaching staff and getting to know everybody.
I feel a lot more comfortable after my first couple of weeks because the workouts just, I'm not going to say they got easier, but they weren't as hard as they were when I first got here. And then everybody just welcoming us in, and all the coaches just pouring into us, it just clicked almost immediately.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to have 3 new Eagle players coming up along with Coach Jones. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Go. All right, we're back here at Buffalo Wild Wings talking to some more Del City players. But first, Coach Jones. There's a chair there if you want to have a seat.
Okay.
Yep. Coach, obvious question. One of the interesting things about last year is you had to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
How is that going to look this year as far as calling offense?
Well, I won't be calling it. I promoted Lamar Shields. He's been our defensive line coach and special teams coordinator for the last 3 years. So he's going to do a great job. We're going to do a lot of the same things we did last year. The great quality about Del City is we've been averaging 40 points for the last 3 years. So I think coaches are very important, but players make what happens. I'm not going to put all the focus on the coaches, because regardless of what we have, the players are going to score points, and they're going to do the consistent things day in and day out. So we had 3 offensive coordinators the last 3 years, and I think Coach Shields is going to step in and do the same thing. So it's going to allow me to be more of a head coach and help out with the defense more and special teams, and with the program overall, just helping out with the character curriculum, making sure guys are passing classes, make sure guys are attending classes on time and doing what they need to do and being respectful with their teachers. So not being an offensive coordinator is going to really open up opportunity for me to be more of a head coach. And I think we're going to benefit overall as a program, because I'm going to be able to use myself in more different ways.
But you'll still have some important decisions to make on offense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm still going to be there. Yeah. I'm going to make I'll be right next to him making calls and helping him make calls, per se.
And the obvious one is this. How does the quarterback deal look? Because you had a really good sophomore and a really good freshman at quarterback last year.
Yeah. Obviously Cash Carter moved away to Norman, so Cash won't be with us. Sincere Overton was a great freshman. He had a great start to his career, but he won't be with us for the first 3 games. Okay. So we have 2 young men. One of the young men is with us today. Quincy Hill, he'll be battling for the job, and Drayvon Simmons, they both be battling for the job. Del City's one of those kind of places. There's no knock on the quarterback and who they are, but they have enough talent around them that they should be able to handle the pressure of it, and they should be able to get the snaps and be able to do what they need to do when we get to that position. So Quincy Hill, he's here with us today, so he's going to have the opportunity to compete for that spot, and I'm excited about it. Go ahead.
Well, you're used to having a new quarterback. You've had a new quarterback every year, and yet whether it's Godwin or obviously River Warren was established, but they always seem to be ready to go.
Yeah, I think that's a testament of our program. I honestly believe that the way we work in the offseason and the way that we mesh together and the way every kid understands who we are as a program, I think you can plug and play with your quarterback position. You don't want to do it every time, but I feel like, and that's not just with the quarterback position, that's running back, offensive line. We're so entrenched into our C-depth mentality that regardless who plays what position, what year, we have the confidence that our momentum is going to continue to go forward, and we're going to do what we need to do. So we wanted to Cash or Sincere, we thought it would be them. They're not available, so we're going to let Quincy Hill or Drayvon Simmons step up and be the person that we need to be for the start of the season and continue on during the season. So our program really handles the empty spaces from guys either leaving the transfer or guys moving on as seniors.
Okay, we mentioned some of the names here, but go ahead and let's talk about who do we have with us now.
We got Josiah Chester. He was a big-time receiver for us last year as a sophomore. I've really seen a lot of growth with him in this offseason. He's going to be a junior. I think he's going to be the next, these are hard names that I mentioned, LaDainian Fields, Kenydra Thomas. Those are guys that play in Oklahoma State and Kansas State, but I really think that he's going to elevate his game, and I think he's going to be that type of player. He's been a great leader for us. He's great in the classroom. He's great in the building, so I'm excited about Josiah Chester. We got the twin. We had Arnico earlier. This is Orion. I really think Orion, he's just a great leader. He's quiet. He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't brag a lot about himself. But the way he carries himself in the weight room, the locker room, and the classroom, he really brings an element to our program that we need those type of character guys to be able to continue to do what we're doing. You got Quincy Hill, young man I just mentioned earlier, that's going to compete for the quarterback position. The thing I love about Quincy, he's really selfless. He was supposed to be our starting receiver and starting strong safety. But when we had those 2 guys move on for quarterback, he stepped up in the position. Now he's going to play quarterback for us. And that shows what kind of player he is athletically, that you could play 3 multiple positions. But it also shows what kind of person he is to be able to say, hey, I'm okay with moving from receiver and safety to play quarterback for the betterment of the team. So I'm excited about that. Then we have Caleb Blackwolf. Caleb is everything he's advertised to be. He's the number 1 athlete in his class. He could play running back for you. He could play receiver. He played quarterback at one time. He plays defensive back. I'm just excited to see what he's going to do in his second year. Last year I felt like he was getting comfortable with us and he was getting comfortable with the schemes and everything we were doing. But I really think he's going to elevate his game to possibly be one of the best athletes in his class, not only in Oklahoma but in the nation to me, because I see what he does day in and day out. And I love how humble he is, and I love how much of a great teammate he is, that he's not worried about him getting his numbers or getting his shine. He's just worried about being a great teammate and a great leader. So I'm excited about it.
Start with Orion, right? He's got the headset.
Orion.
Orion, okay. Orion, a few minutes ago, your brother said that when you guys compete against each other at home, he usually wins. Is there any truth to that?
It's 50-50.
You got to tuck up, man.
Oh, my bad. It's 50-50 whenever it's between me and him. It's really just whoever's feeling the best in that moment, because there are days that I'm feeling bad or days he's feeling bad, and we just take advantage of that whenever we 1v1. There's no mercy out there between us two.
How are you different than him as a player? Because it's interesting when you got identical twins, you're supposed to be almost the same in everything. But are you a different type of player than him?
I would say I'm more of a mental kind of player. Arnico's he likes to use his brute strength, and there's no knock on that because it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I like to analyze my situation and handle it accordingly, so I don't waste extra energy and just stay fresh throughout the game.
I'm sure Coach already said this, but where do you play on the line, O-line?
Interchangeable between left guard and left tackle.
Oh, so wherever you're on the left side.
Yes, sir.
And how do you feel? Do you feel like you're a better lineman now than last year?
I feel like I learned a lot compared to last year. I learned so much from the seniors that we had, even though they did make their fair share of mistakes. I learned from their mistakes, and I learned from their successes throughout the season.
Okay, you going to play any on defense?
Yes, sir, definitely.
And what do you see yourself on one side of the ball or the interior?
No, I want to help my team as much as possible on both sides of the ball.
But you're going to play defensive tackle?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay. Yes. Very good. All right, if you could pass that set to Josiah, and then Mr. Hill, I'm sorry, I forgot your first name.
Quincy,
okay.
Quincy Hill.
Quincy, how did you get to pick to be the quarterback with the shortage they had? What were some skills you bring to the table that they noticed?
First thing I'd like to say is leadership. I feel like I play a big role in leadership, and I played quarterback in middle school for a little bit, and I feel like I'm versatile. I can play anything, like he said. So that I feel like it plays a big role that Jones trusted me to play the position that I'm playing now.
Yes, sir. How do you feel? How's your throwing arm?
You said one more time?
How is your throwing arm?
How is it?
Yes.
I feel like I got a great arm. I'm left-handed, and I can throw deep. I can throw short. I can throw wherever you want me to throw it to.
Yes, sir.
All right, when they're calling plays, would you rather them call a play where you throw a deep ball or a play where you get a run?
Deep ball, definitely. Okay. To somebody like Josiah, Chester, or Caleb, definitely.
Yes, sir. Very good. All right, if you could pass the mic to Caleb. Caleb, we'll go and ask you. You played so much last year on both sides of the ball, and the same question I've asked other players, how did you want to improve either as a safety or as a running back?
Focusing on the receiver, not have my eyes in the backfield. That's where I lack the most, because I have my eyes in the backfield and I let the deep ball get behind me. But I'm fast enough that I can recover it for it.
Yeah, for sure. As a running back, you have Ricklin and you, and I mean that's really a great combination there. Do you have to remind coaches, hey, I want the ball, or?
No, we split it between me and him. If he's tired, I go in. If I'm tired, he comes in for me.
Okay, and do you feel more comfortable this year because this is your second year in the program?
Yes, sir.
All right, and
let me ask you this,
but
just so he knows, you're never going to be bringing up carries to me. He's going to do what the coach do, but tell why you feel more comfortable this year, Caleb. I want you to explain that so you can work on your side. Why you feel more comfortable?
My first year, I was trying to get the program down more, but since it's my second year, I'm more better with it. Receiver, safety, and running back, so it's a lot easier for me now.
Yes, and are you getting some offers some good offers from colleges?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, can you tell us anything about that?
Arizona State.
Oh wow, that's good.
OSU, OU, and I had Tulsa come up to me.
Okay, do you plan on making a decision maybe next year, or have you thought about even when you'll really focus on that?
Probably by next year.
Okay.
I'll make my final offer.
Yep. Very good. All right. Josiah, so we had Nick Holmes said that he believes he's the fastest player on the team. Is that true?
I disagree with that, but I feel like everybody's going to speak from their confidence, and I feel like that's something that helps everybody improve. Everybody think they're the best. That's helped us as a team improve and push each other to become better. But I honestly think that I'm the fastest, but, you know, everybody going to say who they think is.
You guys are going to have to race and practice.
Sad thing, the coach is I'm probably the fastest on the team. We're going to be honest about it.
If only you could put on a jersey, huh?
Dude, yeah.
All right, so it's the same. It's interesting because, again, I've said this many times, there's so many good receivers and defensive backs who've moved on. So a lot of opportunity there. Does that excite you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, and it helped me learn a lot, too, going on. Because my freshman year, Daddy was a senior, so I got to watch him and see him make plays. And that excited me. And I learned some stuff from him, just how to attack coverages, attack leverages, and all types of stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Have you been working a lot with Quincy on offense, getting your timing down?
Yeah, we work twice a week outside of practice, and we work in the morning before practice, so that just helps us get timing on the deep ball, short passes, medium, all types of passes.
I've heard about that, but do you notice a different spin on the ball because he's a lefty, or is that even something you've looked at?
I mean, it's different, but it doesn't really bother me.
Right.
I mean, the ball coming either way, so it doesn't really bother me.
You play defense as well. Do you have a preferred side of the ball?
I don't have a preferred side of the ball. I just want to do whatever helps my team win, and whatever.
He'll be starting cornerback as well.
All right.
He'll be replacing DeMar and Turner. So.
Big shoes to fill. Jeff, you have any questions for the players?
What Coach Jones tell me, eat a lot, make sure you eat healthy, plenty of water, and plenty of Pedialyte. So that's why I won't come off the field that much.
I would describe myself as a dual threat, but I like to pass before I take off with the ball.
All right.
Good job, fellas.
Coach, you know the schedule, you know the opponents. Yeah, you start with Edmond Memorial, at Edmond Memorial, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And that was your one regular season loss, but it turned out to be pretty good last year. So any thoughts about, I guess District 4 is the important games for you to get more home playoff games like you're used to getting.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about what the district might be like this year?
Well, I'm very respectful towards my opponents, and even Edmond Memorial, I knew coming into that game that we had the opportunity to lose, especially we were overconfident coming off that state championship, so everybody was feeling themselves, coaches and kids. So we got a little wake-up call, and then we were able to win 11 games in a row, and then obviously we met Carl Albert. But coming into the district, you got Collinsville, Claremore, and Pryor. Those are going to be in Tahlequah. So we got a great district. So, we preach to our kids, take it one game at a time and take it one practice at a time. So we're going to show up Monday. We're going to focus on Monday. Then we're going to show up Tuesday. We're going to focus on Tuesday. We're not going to focus too much on our opponents. We've been really focusing on ourselves and what we need to do with our attitude and effort. These young men have great attitudes all summer. They've been having great effort. If they continue to do those same things going into next Monday, I think we're going to, at the end of the season, I think we'll be satisfied with where we need to be because of the attitude and effort they're bringing forth.
Now, you mentioned Carl Albert. Since you've met them in the playoffs 3 straight years, but they're not on your regular season schedule, do you ever mention them to the players like, hey, if you want to beat Carl Albert, you got to get to this level? Has that ever come up?
I mean, being honest, I'm trying to do a better job of it myself personally, but it's brought up almost every week, if not every day. If you're playing sports and it's a team that's a championship team and you're in that division or you're going against them, if you're not bringing them up, what are you doing? I mean, we want guys to get an education. We want guys to learn character and do things right. But we're in this to win a championship. Carl Albert has won the last 2 to 3 state championships. So that's where we want to be. And, the last 3 years it came down to us ranked number 1 in verse 2. So that's where we want to be. We understand what it takes to get there. But instead of focusing on them every day, we need to focus on the character, effort, and energy that we bring with our attitude and being responsible as teammates.
All right, to the players, is there any opponent you're looking forward to? I know you want to take it week by week, but is there a date or a team you're like, hey, I'm looking forward to this game?
Not really in my eyes. I'm just ready to play. I'm just ready for the season in general, just really taking it game by game like Coach Jones said, and hoping for that outcome that we want at the end of the season.
All right, Quincy, Caleb, anybody on this? Nope. Okay. All right.
That's coaching right there.
That's what you want.
That's coaching right there.
Real quick, scrimmages? You're hosting any?
Yeah, we'll be going to more. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to play another 6A1 team. We want to play against the the bigger, better teams to start us off in the season to get us ready for 5A play, and we want to play against the best team in the state. You know, a lot of people rank us high in preseason rankings, and we don't really pay attention to preseason rankings, but we need to see where we are as a program, and I think more really gives us that challenge to show where we are physically and where we're at as a program.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Coach, and the players. Del City will begin their season at Edmond Memorial August 29th, and then they go to Booker T, week off, Midwest City at home, then district play. All right, we'll come back. We'll talk Carl Albert football after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Good job, Caleb.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Hey, I can hear you.
All right, are we back on? We're back on here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City. Be sure to come out here. Football season is gearing up, and they got so many TVs. They're going to have so many games on just about every day of the week. So Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City, please make it your home for football this fall. All right, we're going to talk Carl Albert football with their announcing crew. This is Kirk Norman and Mike Goff. They'll be calling Carl Albert football together for, I think, the fourth year. And
it is 4 years.
And Carl Albert, they've won a state championship every year. So, Coach Goff, you were some good luck for them when you came aboard.
Well, I don't know about that.
Now they're going for a four-peat. Well, they've done it before, but not with his players. So, I mean, what do you think? Four-peat, is this team similar to the teams that have repeated in past? You know, when they had the 2 5-peats. What do you think?
It's up to you.
Well, I'll just tell you that the goal always remains the same at Carl Albert. So this year we have the opportunity to break the state record in football with state titles, and so that's kind of out there. The vision for this year is 2020, that we have 2020 vision. If we can hit number 20, we'll be the only school that has done it, and so we're excited about that. But the same thing goes, and everybody will tell you this, Gary Rose used to have a statement all the time about last year was last year. So you kick it in the creek and you move on. And that really is kind of the mentality. Once it's over, once the rings are passed out, everybody begins to look forward to what is going to be for the next year and begin to look at some of the guys that are coming up. And so, yeah, the goal's the same. So there's no reason. Now, you can't say either that when you graduate, 5, 6 guys that are D1 players, that there's not a lot to reload with. You've got to go and see those players. But at the same time, you've got a lot of players that just didn't get time on the field. It didn't mean they weren't good. They were great players, but we had a lot of players that needed a little more time on the field.
Right.
Yep.
And they did get some time.
They did.
Because there were a few games that were not really close, and then they would go in and play some.
What's the biggest need as far as after graduation, as far as what are they looking for to replace the most? This first preseason look and scrimmages, what are they looking to replace?
Well, both offensive and defensive lines almost entirely back intact. So lineman-wise, they're pretty good. So it's the skill kids, the kids that like Tristan Haynes and Trinae Washington, some people like that need to be replaced. It'll be hard to replace those guys. I mean, how many teams do you have that have like 2 or 3 6'4" guys that are like 215 that can run like deers? So, I mean, it'll be difficult to do that. Linebacker-wise also, with Caden Davis leaving, and going to, where do you go? Arkansas.
Emporia.
No,
right.
He went to Arkansas.
That's right, Arkansas.
Harding. He went to Harding.
Okay.
Arkansas.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Well, what makes this run that they're on right now impressive is they've won 3 state titles with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yep.
Their 5-peat before that, they had like Ben Harris 4 years. So they had an experienced quarterback most of the time. So they got, once again, another new quarterback. I know the name that people may be familiar with is Anderson Collier, but are there others? Is this going to be a competition?
I haven't heard.
No, I know that there's going to be competition, but because you can't go into the season with one quarterback. And so there's always going to be somebody standing on the sidelines that's going to come in. We saw that last year. Anderson was the guy standing on the sidelines last year. Came in a few games, has a great spiral, also has a hard-headed ability to run. And so he's the guy, I think, that's coming out of the summer probably that is kind of leading the pack. And but remember, and it's a great point that you make, Jordan. Remember, and I don't want to downplay it at all, but there is a little bit of plug and play that goes on in Carl Albert. Nobody's asking Anderson to come in and be,
Kevin Sperry.
Exactly. So all we've got to do is protect him, have the people around him, put in the skill positions, let him do his job. And when you take that pressure off, I think it really does make a difference on how kids play. So, I think Anderson's going to come in and do a great job.
And we look at last year's senior class, so productive, so many speed guys. You mentioned the top 2, but there's also Todd James, Stubbs, Oku.
Yeah.
And the only player that I think wasn't a senior that played a lot on both in the defensive backfield and receivers was, I believe, Jackson Webster.
Yep.
Are there some names you're familiar with who might be ready to step in that we just haven't seen yet?
Well, one of the guys that's coming in is Marcus Evans, and he ran a 48.5 in the quarter mile this year in 6A, and was 4th in the state. So he's got the speed. Dustin Anderson, who comes over from Midwest City, he runs a sub 1100 meter. Speed guys are out there. Now, they've got to learn the system, and they've got to play within the boundaries of what Carl Albert does. And so, I think we've got speed all over the field. Elijah Matthews, as a running back, is coming off a great year, and you won't believe it when you see him, but the kid has just blown up, and he's about 205 now, and he hadn't lost a bit of speed. So there's a lot of speed all around. And, again, some of those guys just didn't get time to play. So,
well, and I was going to ask you about Elijah because I knew he would be back. And LT was the other running back, so he's graduated. So could Elijah be a workhorse running back, or is there going to be some other good players that need to get some reps?
Well, Coach Dunn, he sent me some stuff, and he talks about, the fact that we do have some other guys. Darian Thomas, they call him Smiley. And so they're kind of, you're kind of, Coach Dunn said this, so I feel like I can say it, but we're going to talk about them kind of as thunder and lightning. And so you've got Elijah Matthews and Darian Thomas. Darian, he'll drop his head and run over you. And Elijah Matthews is a little more, I'll run over you if I have to, but I think I'd rather run around,
Yeah, I saw Darian play basketball, and he looked like quite the physical specimen.
Yeah.
And he's going to be plugged in at one of the linebackers, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Correct. Yes, he is.
And that will be one to watch because that linebacking core, you had 2 D1 players and Caden Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So Darian Thomas will be one of them. Anyone else that you're familiar with?
Another Davis kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A kid named Bo Davis.
Yeah, Bo Davis.
Okay, I remember
who played
that.
a lot last year.
Yeah.
Jake Miller is a sophomore. Physically looks a lot like Caden Davis. He'll need 2 or 3 games to get in line and figure it out a little bit, but he's got that mentality to go hard and go fast. So,
well, let's go back and talk about what we know. That D-line, and I remember 3 of the names, so you help me with the 4th. LeBron Royal on one end, Joe Thomas on the other, such playmakers, and then in the middle, Nick Hill. Where I think they're all back, and then there was one more.
Kason Perucci.
Kason Perucci.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Coach Goff, how does this D-line look to you compared to other great D-lines?
Well, it's as good as I've ever seen, Coach.
You've seen a lot.
I have seen a few. Quickness on the outsides and physically talented. And then inside, they're big and can move. Kathan his motor runs like Caden Davis's did.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd just soon take you to the ground and land on you. But they're both, he and the Hill kid are both very physical inside.
You also have to remember a guy that last year showed up. He just has incredible heart, and that's Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Joe enough. Joe has grown up a lot this year, had a little setback in the summer, broken arm, but he's going to be back and knows better where to be and what to do. And, when these kids, they're going to just be juniors. A bunch of these kids are just going to be juniors. And so there's a future there. It looks good on that defensive line.
Well, they can make up for a lot of the inexperience on the back 7, for sure. What we'll be interested to see is maybe the toughest position to replace is place kicker. With Ethan Spiewak moving on finally. But have you gotten any insights to?
We've got a couple of guys that come out of the soccer program, but one of the guys that was with us last year that had the opportunity to play behind is Keon Floranda. He played several games and good kicker, just a good young man, and will play very well.
And will he also punt? Because Trene was so good at that.
I don't know who's going to do the punting. I haven't talked to Coach Farley.
I haven't either. That's something that's to be looked forward to.
They may just not punt very much.
I hope not.
Well, I was going to say, no. If your punter's your star, you got a problem.
Yeah, and I think for sure 4 starters on the O-line. Is that right?
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 returners.
And what are some of the names?
On the offensive line,
LeClaire.
You've got LeClaire. He's going to move over to center. Let me see. I've got to look at him up here real quick.
Elijah Esparza.
Yeah.
Or is it Eli? I don't remember. And Esparza.
Kalen Smith, Esparza, Wyatt LeClaire. Perucci's going to be playing a little bit of offense too. Right. And he did last year. And Thomas Welch. That's the other guy we couldn't think of. Yeah.
All right. And, it's the same schedule as last year, just reversed as far as destinations. I know Stillwater was supposed to be the tough game because they're usually really good in 6A2, and Titans won 30-0. But any thoughts about the schedule, as particularly the district, where they've won the district every year since I think 2016, which they didn't need to win that year. They still won state, but that's a streak. That's another streak they have going.
Yeah, the district is going to be what it is. Those district games are, it used to be that 5A District 2 was one of the toughest districts to go through.
Yeah, because you had McGinnis,
right,
Guthrie,
Piedmont. And now that's
they're not.
Now it's a little softer now, to be quite honest. And nobody looks forward to driving 2.5 hours down to Altus, but we have to do that this year. Yeah. And not that Altus isn't a good program, and they rehired a state championship coach. They're coming up, but at the same time, it's a long trip, and those kind of things, anything can happen. So. It will be the district will be what it is. So,
Well, I'm interested to see how, and you're talking about how quick we're going to have to grow up. And seeing those Midwest City kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Stillwater kids, we're going to have to grow up pretty quick in those first 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. And also Lawton Eisenhower, I think, it rounds out the non-district schedule.
Yes, sir.
So one of the impressive things about Carl Albert, Coach Goff, I talked with you about this last year, the continuity of the coaches is just same year in, year out, and is that, I assume that's still true?
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah, when somebody asks, we talked about this back there a while ago, but when somebody says, what's the secret, well, players are moving through every 4 years, just like they do in college, except for in college now they move every year. It depends on who's got the most money. So, but players are going to move through, but this coaching staff has a great, solid core that has stayed, and, that has created great continuity.
I went up there yesterday, and I like to go up and just visit and talk to coaches, and I knew all of them. There wasn't anybody that I didn't know.
Right.
All right, well, last question for you guys. Broadcasting the games, it will all be the same, you think, for you as far as you got anything different as far as how you approach your jobs?
No, we'll still eat Mexican food when we leave.
Yeah, when Eric gives us the deal that you can draw on and
Telestrator?
The Telestrator.
Yeah, Eric,
I hope
that'll be that's a good idea.
Part.
Yeah, I'm afraid of Coach Goff having a Telestrator. To be quite honest.
Boom.
That will be must-see TV if that happens. I would love to see that. All right, guys, thank you very much. Carl Albert, we'll start there. Well, do they have any scrimmage? They do have a scrimmage on the network. They have Slot MacArthur, I think, and some other teams.
Yeah, we have a round robin, and then we go to Sand Springs for a scrimmage.
Sand Springs, and then the first game. What's the first game?
It's at Midwest
City.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, you guys don't play week 0 then. That's what I was thinking. No. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up, we talk Jones football after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Well, welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings, site of the Oklahoma City Region Media Day. We had Southwest Oklahoma yesterday, where we had the schools of all 3 Lawton schools, Cache, Elgin. We also had Walters. And then up in the Oklahoma City area, we already talked at the start of this broadcast. We started with Midwest City. We went to Dell City, had Carl Albert. Now we got the Jones Longhorns. It's kind of the you guys were here first, and you waited till this time. You're so patient. I'm so glad that you guys stayed with us. And I know there was kind of a mix-up, and you guys came here at 11 o'clock. There was supposed to be the original time, and Coach was all ready, and then missed opportunity, and so Coach couldn't come here. But you guys came back for the repeat, so I appreciate that. Let's introduce yourself. Number 12, we'll go ahead and give us your name and your position.
I'm a senior, linebacker, running back, Luke DeBucks, number 12. Senior, receiver, number 11, Evan Clark.
Number 15, I play center.
So starting center, all right. So let's talk about spring ball first. you have every year is different. You got graduation, people come in. Fortunately, you've got a lot of returners in the right position.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But you, as a senior, looking back at when you started off as freshman and sophomore, how does that differ, and how did you go into the mindset into this year?
This year we're really focusing on finishing. The past 3 years we've been super, super close. Freshman and sophomore year, semifinals, and last year made it to the quarterfinals. And I think this year is just about the little things, focusing on the little things this season here, and getting to the top.
How did you want to improve personally in your game? How did you want to get better at what you're doing as a senior?
Yes, sir. Just becoming a better overall vocal leader. For the younger guys coming in, you can just be there for them and doing that.
What do you think, we'll go with you as far as what did you want to do to improve on coming into this season?
I wanted to get bigger, be able to stay healthy longer, and, always just work on the little things.
What did you do to get bigger? Eating that
weight.
appetizer that we put out on the table? Eating right, though, right?
Eating a lot and just never leaving the weight room, really.
Now, what class are you?
Senior.
You're a senior, okay. You're all seniors, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so starting center, you're kind of the field general for the offensive line. You're the quarterback for the line, making all those calls and those adjustments. Have you kind of filled into that role? You feel pretty good at that position?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. One thing I need to work on is becoming more vocal and being a better vocal leader. But other than that, I feel like I've done a pretty good job. There's
two ways to lead. You can lead by example or you can lead vocally. I guess both of you are kind of telling me that you are the example guys, but now either coach or by your own design have decided to be more vocal. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean just to yell, but talk about being a vocal leader.
If we're working out and say a younger guy is not doing what he should be doing or not working his hardest, just go up to him, tell him he could be doing better, and just let him know that and cheer him on as he's doing it. And that's.
Well, you got a lot of underclassmen looking to you, and the position that's got to be filled after you leave, and you want to extend that in the program. So let me ask you, what does it mean for you to be a Jones Longhorn?
It means a lot. Putting on the green and white, you sit there as a little kid watching those high school kids, and then when it's your turn to put the jersey on, it's a special feeling, for the town and the community.
I'll ask you, hometown. Tell me that. I was there a couple of times to watch some of your hometown matchups, and Jones being the community that it is, everybody's there on Friday night. Tell me about the Friday night light experience there in Jones.
Oh, it's crazy. There's people that I didn't even know Jones could get that packed. It's just so many people, and then they're always loud. They're always showing love, and it's honestly a great feeling. Now,
this is a great little merit for us, and you guys know who I'm going to talk about in a second. But Tessa Durrell, one of your coach's daughters, she's been competing lately, and she's been on the Oklahoma Sports Network as a sideline reporter for many, many years. And she competed in these, pageants, and then lo and behold, she's now Miss Oklahoma. And then I asked her after she won the crown whether or not she was going to continue to want to do what she did and be in the booth. So she still want to be the color analyst that she kind of took in the latter part after Grant Haynes had to go back after he's got his master's and got back in the coaching staff. What's it going to be like in the whole state of Oklahoma that Miss Oklahoma will be the color analyst for the Jones Longhorns?
Man, it would be cool. That's awesome. Just a good feeling, I guess, for the community and town of Jones.
Okay, I'm going to ask you for you three, and we didn't get to ask the other coaches, and we did this yesterday, and we didn't get one of the coaches to comment on this. You got a new state law in with cell phones. It's called bell to bell, and I know that coaches on the fly are going to have to adapt because of the fact that is your communication. These phones we carry around as our lives. Texting, calling, and hey. Put a group text out that practice has been moved or we're going to move this time, and it's immediate. Now they can't do that until after the school's out. What if coaches said that they're going to do best to communicate to you during the regular school day?
Jones is small. Our coaches are teachers as well, so it's not hard to get a hold of them, going to their classroom or them coming to us and telling us. And we actually just put in a senior-led different kind of groups. We have
okay. So then
6
you
or
guys
se-
can,
yeah,
get
6
the
or
word.
7 groups,
Yeah.
senior led, and we have send out texts what need to be said, and then we also have a senior group chat. So it's be pretty easy. It won't be that hard to adapt to.
I know it's been asked by the other schools, and so I'm going to kind of piggyback and do this as well, and I'm going to ask each one of you. Is there a game that you've circled on the calendar? Already nodding, that's good. And I know coach speak is, no, it's the next one up, and that's all I'm worried about. But we're all human, and we all know as a fan that there is a game we like. So we'll start with you. What game have you circled on your calendar that you can't wait for?
I got 2. One in our district, Millwood.
Yeah.
They handed it to us last year, but this year is new year, and we're coming. And then that team down south in the red, our guys in the locker room know who that is.
Okay, so we won't even mention any names. I like that. Okay, you got one that's circled on the calendar?
Man, it's honestly a team. It's a team deal. Both those teams are something that we want to go out there and we want to beat them so bad.
Right.
I would also say the team above us. They're not on our calendar yet, but they will be.
Okay. Did you have any questions at all? Okay. All right. So the Jones Longhorns, thank you, gentlemen, for coming. And I know that little mix-up on time, but you guys really showed up in a big way, and we really appreciate that. So as another extra plug, as we said, Tessa Durrell, Miss Oklahoma, will be on the mic each and every Friday for your Jones Longhorns, and we'll take a timeout. We'll get the Newcastle Racers to kind of finish up our OKC Media Day right here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back here at Buffalo Wild Wings. In fact, we're going to wrap it up with the Newcastle Racers. And we know that because of schedules, and this is really hard because for coaches, they're trying to get ready for school. You know, they got practice starting on Monday. I said, well, let's do that right before they kick off, and they've got a lot of stuff they have to handle. And Newcastle, by the way, is already in school.
Right.
Yes. You guys started, what, on Thursday?
Wednesday. Yes.
But Billy told me why. I said, well, you guys don't get out any earlier than everybody else graduation. You are a 4-day school.
Yes, they go to school 4 days a week except for the first Friday of every month.
Okay.
And so
and how is the community adapted, and how has parents adapted to 4-day? And I know that was always thrown out there as a possibility as the 5-day. What's the advantages of having the 4-day?
Well, the teachers really like it. They love to be at work for a school with a 4-day program. It was slow for the community to adapt at first, but I hear a lot of parents love it. They have adapted to it, adopted it, and they embrace it. It kind of has an interesting effect on sports programs like football, because most of us are used to being in school every Friday. That's game day much of the time. So kind of an interesting twist of that, or a portion of that, is no school on Friday. So the coaches have to probably figure that in to keep that momentum and the spirit up and everything like that. But I know our coaches love it when we have a school day on Friday, on the days where there's a game.
Well, and I remember, you'd have your pep
your pep assemblies on
Yes.
Friday.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have the game tonight. So now we have them a day before on Thursdays, usually. So.
Okay. Well, I didn't even get introduced. These are our broadcasters for the Newcastle Racers. Gene fills in when got duty calls for Josh Calloway that covers the Sooners, and then Billy Collier that does a fine job with the color commentating of kind of the person that's boots on the ground. Newcastle, you're a Newcastle guy through and through. Both of you are. One has a stadium named after him. What is it going to mean for you, Billy? We're going to name the track after you, or what?
Well, the community bathroom house will be the Collier.
Oh, okay. When duty calls, go to Collier.
Right.
There you go. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Now, I know you're having to speak for Coach and speak for the team, and I appreciate you doing that because we want to have them represented in some way. Talk about the needs that they're going to have to fill. You have a quarterback that was phenomenal.
Right.
I get to see firsthand both sides of the ball. I don't even know if you'd say he's a better quarterback than a better linebacker. I mean, he was Defensive Player of the Year for OSN as one of the nominees, and you could say he could have just as easily been an offense. So we know that replacement. Heskew, the great hands that you had, those are the familiarity, and you got to replace those. But what is Coach going to be looking at? Every team is new. Every year is different. What are they going to look to these next couple of weeks to find out who they are?
You want to take that?
Well, I think he's going to be looking for who is going to step up as those vocal leaders. We have several seniors again this year and juniors. It's really incredible as we're seeing players come out of middle school. They're coming out and really stepping in well. I believe we lost a lot of leaders last year, and so he's going to be looking at guys that are going to step up. They have a big mentality, next man in.
Yeah.
We were talking about it earlier. Last year, a lot of players got in, whether they went in for a couple of plays or they were in most of the game. But what he's going to be looking at here in the next couple of weeks is those who are consistent, those who will do what the coaches have said with excellence, and then who's going to be a leader on the team. And I believe that those are kind of starting to stand out a little bit, and people are starting to follow them.
And Eric, you're asking the right question because the coaches have said that's what they're facing this year. They've got some positions to fill, and but as Billy said, the coaching staff last year did a lot of rotating, and so a lot of our kids who are potential players have had a lot of time on the field, and they've demonstrated their ability. The big slot would be quarterback because Jackson. His leaving that, Jackson Burke, the 3 years prior to that, then Jackson Shanuel. So we had some other kids who got some time at quarterback. Caden Longman went in, and he could play the position very well. Ashton Schumard probably has the seniority in terms of the amount of reps he's taken. I think he's probably taken a lead during practice in the role of quarterback. But we have two or three others who probably will really test him for the position. And we'll just have to see really what happens probably the next 5 days and the scrimmage next week.
I know we're excited to start football. I know you guys are, and we were talking a little bit about the success of last year. Was it 2014 last time Newcastle was in the semifinals? Did you look that up?
Actually, further back, 2004.
2004.
We made several playoffs, but to reach the semifinals was Coach August Dietz last year.
Yeah.
Lost to Purcell in the semifinals while we were in I think. 4A still at that time,
Well, and you had to jump up from 4A to 5A. Your basketball is going to go to 5A this year. That's going to be a new transition for some of your players. Let's talk a little bit about your non-district schedule, which, I looked at it and I said, Coach Brickman, you want to readjust that, because, you had your city, you had the Tri-City rivalry that you wanted to still maintain somewhat of that.
Yes.
So that maintains. And then you have Elgino, by the way, that won a state title in 4A. Do you think that's really good to be battle-tested? Because your district, when you follow, you got Bishop McGuinness, you got MacArthur, you got Midwest City, you got Newcastle, just to name of those four. And if those four made the playoffs, 1 through 4 is going to be decided in those 4 games. So you want to be tested. Do you think good, bad, or indifferent of the non-district schedule for Newcastle?
I think it's very good. I knew that last year it was going to look pretty tough. We were 1-4, And it was really the first time, they're in 1 and 3. It's the first time they're in 5A, and so people were a little nervous. But I do think you saw as they went through the division how that helped out, and I think this year will be the same. We may be 2-2 coming out. There's going to be some really good games that I think could go either way in out of district. But I think it's going to be somewhat the same so that as they get to division play, they're not going to be overwhelmed. They're not going to see something they haven't seen. And so I think that's going to be to their benefit. I do know it's a balance. You don't want to come out and play Elgin and then Carl Albert and then, Jinx and then Tuttle. There's a line between taking away their confidence and preparing them.
Right.
And so I think Brickman is doing a real good job, especially Tri-City. We've been on the losing end of that for several years between Tuttle and Blanchard. This year, new coaching at Blanchard.
You throw Bethany in there as well.
Yes.
That's that mix,
So I think this will help get them ready and prepare them.
I agree. And I'm kind of a convert. As a fan, and I would even tell Coach this, I want 3 or 4 cupcakes. I just love seeing those wins. As a fan, don't take the chances.
Yeah.
But when you see what he has done over the last several years, he's never shied away from the larger, challenging schools. He even made sure that McGinnis and some of the other big schools were among his teams he played in scrimmages. And then this year when we hosted a 6A team, Bartlesville, and we expect them to be tough this year as well. We prevailed over them. Then we had those 3 tough losses, but we learned something from every one of those games, and then we were really prepared for district. So I'm a convert. I can see the value of it now, and I'm glad that we're facing those same teams this year.
And for the Newcastle Racers, you can catch us on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Also a coach's show at Luigi's there. We want to thank them for inviting us back. And Gene's going to come back and take that one more time, and I appreciate that. Anything else you guys want to say in closing for Newcastle?
No, just excited. I think it's going to be a little different year this year. Last year, I think a lot of opponents didn't know what we had, what we would bring. This year, they're going to be a little bit more prepared, so we're going to have to step up in competition. I think they will. I think the coaches have a good grasp of that, and the coaches have set the identity for the team. You see that in practices now. So I think it's going to be an exciting year once we get past Murderer's Row.
Yeah, I understand. Right.
And I would say, remind everyone, Coach Brickman has built a really strong program. So they're going to be fun to watch. It still feels like we're small school football. And especially there at Racer Stadium, you come in, it's crowded. We need to add more seats.
Right.
But the fact is, it's game day in Newcastle is a fun experience. So I encourage our fans to stick with us throughout this tough preseason, pre-conference, and get ready for a lot of good home games and be behind the Racers. And really proud of Dr. Kathy Walker, our superintendent. Coach Brickman feels good. He has a full complement of coaches. He expresses his appreciation to senior leadership who has made that happen, and that is going to just culminate in another great season for Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going there. I cover the MacArthur Highlanders, and I know that I will be traveling. I actually filled in, Billy and I did one in a rain game under a tent with Tuttle, and it was a nice Friday atmosphere of football. It's what high school football is all about, and we appreciate that. Right. Okay, both Billy and Gene, thank you very much representing the Newcastle Racers here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Going to wrap things up here for this media day. You can go back and watch from the very beginning the new head coach of Midwest City. So we had Midwest City, we had Dell City, we had Carl Albert, we had the Jones, and we also had Newcastle. We already had obligations from Bethany, so they were not able to represent today, just like Altus in the Southwest region. Really kind of tough. It's really incredible that I can get this much participation right before school starts, even though Newcastle has started. The rest of the schools will be in next week, like Wednesday and Thursday, but practice on Monday. Getting ready for high school football. Scrimmages right around the corner. Make sure you download the app, Apple and Android devices, Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on X. For Jordan Ray, we want to thank Jordan. And Tom Carpenter, who came out with his Midwest City helmet. How old is that helmet? That's got to be He's worn that for a while. So, yeah, Midwest City Bombers, and we're going to catch all 13 schools on the network getting ready for you, home and away games. You can connect to us. You've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Thank you once again, Buffalo Wild Wings. Great host to our Media Day in Southwest Oklahoma yesterday and the Oklahoma City region today on the Oklahoma Sports Network.